Hi, this is Lethea Owens, and I help organizations and individuals build their irresistible brand. And I am an excited and happy InfusionSoft user. I learned something today that I really wanted to share with others in case they run into the same problems that I have. I have this event, and as you can see, there are 3 different cities listed for this particular event. And so on my order form, what I thought would be helpful, it would be helpful to allow people on the actual shopping cart checkout. I didn't want to do an order form, so let me clarify that. I didn't want to do an order form, and I am not using the normal shopping or the store that Infusionsoft provides. So I wanted to actually add these options to my shopping cart checkout form. So you'll notice here people can actually select their location or the city tour that they're going to attend, and they also have the option of letting me know if they want to reserve their lunch. So I want to show you how I did this, and the other thing that you'll want to note is that this information goes into a custom field on the client's record. So let me show you that as well. If we go to people and we open up this in a new tab, and I do a search on Jones, last name Jones. And let's say Vincent Jones. Vincent probably doesn't have any data because I don't know if he's, come to a previous event. But see these custom fields here? These are the fields right here, this list of city locations for the event. And then the lunch options are all listed in the custom field section of the client record. And so when they select it here, it actually gets added as a custom field to their record. So in order to accomplish this, I want to walk you kind of step by step through what I did in order to do this. So first I created my product for the actual event, and you do that going to setup and then products, and you add a new product. So I did the very traditional, add your name, your SKU, your event, or your product short description and price and so forth, and then I saved it. The next thing that you want to do is actually create another product, and we're going to use this as kind of an upsell feature that will then add to that shopping cart form that you saw. So this is very basic. You just basically put in a name, and I would suggest sticking with miscellaneous to add options to cart, and then giving it a SKU of cart upsell, short description of cart upsell, no price. You don't need to change any of the other settings except you want to make sure that it's active, and then you'll save it. So the next thing that I did is it's important to go into your application. So we're going to go setup, and then if you go into miscellaneous settings, you'll end up on this screen. It's important for the custom fields for us to go in and actually create the custom fields we want to use on this page here. So we have 2 custom fields. We have the city that they're registering for, and we have their lunch option. Okay, so basically you want, under custom fields, you want person to be selected, and you're going to select go. Now I have some custom fields already created, and you would click on the add button to actually add the custom fields, but you'll see that I already have my 2 fields listed here. Now one is a drop down because I want the cities, as you can see here, to be a drop down. My other custom field is a yes or no option. Okay, so I've already created mine, but I'm just going to go through the add process so you can quickly see what that looks like. And again, whatever we add here ends up as a permanent custom field for each client record that we have in Infusionsoft. Okay, so if you click your add button, let's do let's take a look at how I created this the tour city that people are going to actually select. So I'm just going to say tour city test, and that was a drop down, and then basically you just put your options on separate lines, and then you click save the field, and basically then you'll end up with a drop down option. Now if you want to create like the lunch option, instead of a drop down, I just selected yes or no and click save, and it was pretty much that simple. Okay, so I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to manipulate that or change that at all. Here's where it starts to get a little bit tricky, but I'm sure you can handle this. You'll need to know a little bit about HTML code if you want to do this. But the next thing that you want to do is actually go to, we're going to go to setup and then e-commerce, and that leads us to this page. And we want to go to what we call discount free trials and upsells. And you would at the top click new upsell. I'm going to walk you through the upsell I've already created. And this upsell is named 2012 Tour Cart Additional Fields. Okay. And this miscellaneous product that we created that has no price or anything, we're going to use that as our upsell product. So you can, click your drop down and you'll see all of your products that you have in your system. But the one we're going to select is this miscellaneous add to cart. The next thing that I want you to see is the type we have as checkbox. And if you scroll down just a little bit more, we have this HTML. Now, when you're creating one of these and it's new, this will say edit HTML. So once you've done that, you don't ever have to click this again. And actually, InfusionSoft told me not to click that again, or it could manipulate the HTML that I already have there that I've created. So if I just kind of expand this a little bit, basically I'm going to walk you through the HTML so you know what I did. If you don't know HTML, you'll want to show this to someone in your office or someone who does your web development for you to get them to help you with this. But basically, this band here just changes the color. It makes our information bold and red. That's all that's really doing there. But after that, I have, register me for the following city. And then I'm using what's called a select tag to identify the actual content that I want to show up in the drop down that appears on this page. Because the code I'm showing you now actually puts this information on this page, and then it stores it in the custom fields that we created when we set up the custom fields for the person record. Okay, so this code right here basically creates what you see visually on your shopping cart page, and then it sends it into InfusionSoft and stores it in the client's custom fields. So when I post this video, I'm going to post this code below it just so that you have access to the code to give to your developer. But you'll notice that this class, you'll want to keep it the same as what I have here. The ID is contact 0, and then whatever the name of your custom field is that you created over here, you're going to name it the exact same thing, except it's going to not have, you're going to make sure you take out all the spaces. Okay, so when we take a look at the ID and the name, we just want to make sure that after contact 0 underscore that we have the name of our custom field for the ID and for the name. And then I'm using what's called an option tag to specify the drop down with the options that are selected here. We have 3 options. So if you don't know HTML, this may sound Greek to you, but if you do know HTML, option is just used to create a drop down box for you. Then I have a couple of breaks to give me a little bit of a break between the two. And then I also have what's called a radio button, which I'm using the input tag to create this radio option of value 1 for yes and value 0 for no. And again, this 2012 Irresistible Lunch option is the exact same name as the custom field I created over here, but without any spaces. Okay. After you generate your HTML that shows up on the page, you can look at the placement of, we're doing area 1, which is this area right below the order form. You can play around with the placement if you'd like, but we're going to select placement of area 1. We're not going to add any pricing or anything, and then you're going to save it. And initially, when you first create this record, it may not show you the description HTML until you first save the name, the upsell product, and the type. And after you click save the first time, then it'll give you this box to enter in this code. You'll notice that we haven't entered any regular price or upsell price, but we do need to add a criteria, because what we want to do is make sure that this only shows up in our shopping cart when this particular product has been selected. So we come down here and we would add a criteria, and all I pretty much did to get what you see here, I do have the criteria already listed, but in order to get that, all I did was select a product and quantity criteria. And when that shows up, I just selected my product. And then I set a minimum quantity of 1 and a maximum quantity of 99. And then I click Save. And that basically says if someone orders 1 or 999 quantity of tickets for the Irresistible Tour, then they will see this code that I've entered up here on their order form. And then we click Save. And when it's all said and done, when someone clicks on my website to register or reserve their seat, and we'll go all the way down to the bottom, when they click to actually register, they're going to immediately be taken to this page, which allows them to, again, select the city that they're going to join us in, and also select whether or not they would like to add a meal option to their order. And then they check out as normal. I hope this makes sense, and I hope this has been beneficial to you. It really is helping me with regards to allowing people to register for events. So I wanted to just share this with my InfusionSoft community. Make it a great day. Again, this is Lethea Owens, your personal brand and social media marketing strategist.